A very wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the semi-final action happening between the APR Patrick du Rwanda Volleyball Club, who are taking on the Rwanda Revenue Authority. It is semi-final action here in the Inido Stadium, and I tell you that this is a Rwanda derby of sorts. The official standing in this game, the first referee is Livia, and the second referee is Samuels from Uganda. We are just moments away from the first service there. Ivan will be making the first service for APR. Flies the ball up. Beautiful reception there. Playing the ball around, tries to dump it, but beautiful game reading. The ball is still alive. Goes for an attack. A block out. And first point there on board for APR. Selelets now is the player who's just picked up the first point there for APR. And now she will be coming in to serve again for the side. Flies up in the air. Beautiful touch there. The ball still flying over the net. Goes for an attack. But that is off the court. APR, RRA, two sides from Rwanda Revenue Authority. And APR Patrick the Rwanda are now facing off in this women's semi-final action here in the Indo Stadium down here in Lugogo. Another jumping service there, beautiful catch there from RRA. They play the ball around, tries to go for an attack, but that will be off the court. And that's yet another point for APR. APR already leading in this game. They've picked up 3 quick points, and the RRA is yet to respond. They've had service from when the ball got rolling, and they are yet to lose it. She now gets it over. Beautiful catch. RRA still looking for something. Beautiful block there from APR. And at the 4th point, 4-love is the score here in the Indo Stadium Arena. This is the 27th edition of the KAVC Invitational Tournament. From wherever you're watching in, it is 12 minutes past 6 o'clock down in Uganda, and that's the East African time. Another service there coming in. Beautiful catch. RRA looking for something. Goes for a dump. Beautiful game reading. The ball is still alive. Tries to play it over. Dumped. But miscommunication between two Rwanda Revenue Authority players. And that will be off the court. RRA still trailing in this game, whereas APR are still getting in the game. Tries to go for a service, but she will lose service. And now Rwanda Revenue Authority will pick up the first point. 5-1 is now the score here in the Indo Stadium at Lugogo. A tournament proudly sponsored by National Social Security Fund as the lead sponsors, who've made sure that they put resources together to see this tournament happen every year. Now first service there, good reception there from RR. Blocked very nicely there by Rwanda Revenue Authority, and now they pick up the second point. This tournament is happening on the theme of championing better community health and behavior through sports. When you play the games, you're moving that course. And for those who may be having some inquiries on the services from NSSF, you can just make your way to Lugogo. There is a tent which is in front of the Indo Sports Arena. Now service for RR, but she misses that service there. Valentine just not getting that game past the net. 63 at the score lines here in Lugogo in the Sports Arena. Some of the partners in hosting this tournament: Uganda Volleyball Federation, Federation of Uganda Basketball Association, and the Uganda Olympics Committee. Oh, I tell you, that was some good game reading there from Rwanda Revenue Authority. A quick dump and a point right away, 6-4. And now the scoreline is here in Lugogo. RRA, we are trading early in this game, and now they're trying to make sure that they start fighting to see how they could pick up something and maybe level the scores here. Beautiful service, nice reception up in there. The blocks not quite well getting hold onto that ball, and that will be a point for APR. The Ribeiro Voni will now be replaced by Flavia. And now service coming in from APR, beautifully served there, nice catch, set well, tries to go for an attack. The ball tried to be kept alive, but there is a netting violation there from that player from APR, and now RRA inch closer. They were trailing by 5 points early in the game, but now they are trailing by only 2. Just shows you how they have been building back in the game. Goes for a service. That's played up in there. Goes to set. She flies up and gets it to the court. Beautiful diagonal attack. As she picks up another point there for the Rwanda Army, extending their lead to 8. 8-5, and now the score lines here in the Indo Sports Arena down in Lugogo. This tournament happening in Kampala, and this is the 27th edition. This tournament was first played in 1995. 2 editions were missed due to COVID. Goes for a service. Beautiful catch. Up in there, nice setting there. Goes for an attack and gets it to the net. There will be a netting violation called early by the second referee, Samuels. And now serving coming in from RRA will be Irene. He gets it up in there, tries to go for an attack, but a block out, and a point for APR. APR have got early lead in this game, and they have tried to make sure that they maintain lead in the game. Well, this is a best of 5 game. Semi-final action happening here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo. Up in there, brings some powerful service. Beautiful catch there by that Ribeiro Leia. Beautiful catch. Tries to fly up in there. Goes for an attack. A dump like. But beautiful catch there. Leia gets it up in there. An attack well received. Tries to go and set. There is a netting violation there from Rwanda Revenue Authority. And that will be a subsequent point for RRA. Rwanda Revenue Authority are the defending champions in the women's category of this tournament. Unfortunately, the defending champion in the men's category, Rwanda Energy Group, didn't make it out of the groups. A serve off the court, and it will bring up 10 points for APR. APR, one of the powerhouses in this tournament, and this is the semi-final action happening here in Lugogo. Now, she will be coming in for the service. Plays it up and over. Beautiful reception. Nice setting. The blocks really not holding onto that ball. And the RRA will pull one back. If you're planning to come to Lugogo Indo Sports Arena, the entrance here is just 10,000 shillings for the ordinary people like me. And for the very important people, you can pay your 20,000 and you get a comfortable seat. So make sure that you come and you support sport. Of course, this tournament here, trying to champion the sport in the country. I tell you, players come here, display their skills, and that's how they can market themselves. Beautiful catch there. APR going for an attack. Well received, tries to go for a dump, but doesn't execute it well. Good work here being done by RRA, try and keep that one alive. She goes for a dump. Another attack, blocked very nicely there. APR are trying to look for something. They want to extend the lead, but quite not doing it well. Goes for a dump, but the referee The second referee, Samuel, says that that ball was off the court. And now APR stretching their lead. 11-8 at the score lines here at Lugogo. Serves it very nicely. Beautiful catch. Ball is up in the air. Tries to go for a dump like attack. Another attack there. Beautiful catch. RRA try keeping the game alive. An attack there off the net top ribbon. And that will fall into their court. Rwanda Revenue Authority now reducing the deficit to just 3 points. They are fighting back and making sure that they get back in the game. That one brilliant, they served. Nice catch there. Nice setting. Goes for an attack, but that will go off the court. Another point there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. Earlier on in the match, they were trailing by 5 points, but now they are trailing by only... Oh, sorry, that's a point for APR. There was a violation there. And now she comes in for a service. Beautiful catch there. Plays it up in there. Goes for an attack. Beautiful blocks. Keeping the game alive. Hits the ribbon. Good work there up in there. An attack. Beautifully done. RRA. They've played 4 touches. And that's a violation in volleyball. They concede the 13th point. Valentine now with the service for APR. Serves it very well. Beautiful catch. The ball is up in there. Nice setting. Goes for an attack. Quick and electric. Tries to go for a dump. Oh! What a brilliant game reading. She saw that all the players had moved to the front court. And now goes for a dump behind at the back court. Look at that one there. Good game reading. She just saw them all moving and she makes sure that she puts that point there. Beautiful done. But now we are back into play. Let's catch that by the Rebello. Another attack. And APR still extending the lead. They have now gone 5 points. And that will be the first time out of the game. They are being called by the Rwanda Revenue Authority. We are done with the timeout and we are back to play. APR there with the service. Serves it very well. Beautiful catch there from the Rebello. They are running around. A free ball coming. Yes. Well received there by APR. Up in there. Blocks, but not well executed. After this game, we will be having the second semi-final for the women, which will be happening between Rwanda Police and KAVC women. Then we'll be having the second semi-final for the men, where KCCA will be playing KAVC men. Good service there, beautiful catch. Ball is up in there, tries to go for a block. But that is a block out there from APR. And that's another point there for RR. RR making the first substitution there, bringing on a fresh player to try and exert some more pressure. They are trailing by 6 points. Now service, beautiful, not a good reception there. A bit of a... She never saw it coming. That was a bit electric from that player. Beneath, going up in there with a lot of power and scoring that point for APR. Now APR, look at that brilliant work there from APR. And now service APR, not the best of receptions, but the ball is up in there. Tries to go for a dump, beautiful catch. Up in there, an attack, block out, and a point for APR. (18-10), and now the scores. APR has been leading throughout the game, and they are now moments away from picking up the first set victory. A quick dump, well executed, and a point there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. This is a derby, a Rwandese derby happening here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo. Now it will be Tembo serving for RRA. Flies up in there, beautiful service, not the best of catches. Goes for an attack. Beautiful touch there from Leah the Rebello for RRA. Another one set very nicely. And she manages to get it over the point. Showing some power and physique. Marion, I tell you, everybody in the arena loves that one. What a strike there. Look at that one there, a diagonal. Many could just see it land in their half. Now coming again to serve is Tembo. Jump service, not the best of touches, down to the net. Should be a free ball. Oh, that is some good game reading. She saw some players napping, and she just went for that dunk. Dumped it in an area where there was no player. And now Rwanda Revenue Authority concedes another one. The difference between the two sides is still 7 points. As that will be seeing another service there for APR coming in. Beautiful service there over that ribbon. Free ball. Well received. Ball is still alive. Goes for an attack. The catch very nice. But she doesn't quite manage to get it back into play. Marion, and that will be another point there for APR. APR now have gotten 20 points, and RRA, the defending champions, are trading. Service off the court, and the RRA will reduce the deficit. 2013 in favor of APR, and now the scores here in the Indo Stadium. Another change there for RRA as Aloisi gets off the pitch. I beg your pardon, Aloisi gets on and Olive is out. Now service there. Irene. Not really the best of serves. She gets it off the court.
Substitution by 3 in, 2 out.
Another substitution there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. Paul M walking in for Nancy. And now Beneath has the service for APR. APR are just 4 points away from picking up victory in this first set. Beautiful service. The rebel there flying. She gets that ball alive. Free ball there for APR. APR now with a chance. Tries to go for a dump. A netting violation. And a point for APR. 22-13 are now the scores here in the Indo Stadium, Lugogo. RRA there with another change. Sandrini is now the player who's just walked in for the side. And Paul is out. Beneath with the service for APR. Serves it with a lot of power. Beautiful catch there from the libero layer. Tries to look for the gap. She chips in that brilliant work. Goes for a dump. No, doesn't quite get it to the half. Tries to go for an attack. Netting violation. And that will be another point for APR. APR 23, RRA 13. Penlop will now walk in for Valentine. That's the change there for APR. They are 2 points away from picking up the first set victory. And now Beneath comes in for the service. Beautiful power there from that service. Ball is up in the air. Goes for an attack. Block out. And that will be another point there for RRA. Looking to reduce the deficit here in the MTN Indoor Stadium in Lugogo. We'll be having the curtains of this prestigious tournament going to bed tomorrow. We'll be having the third playoffs and finals happening. But before we're having a women's semi-final happening after this game, and then the second men's semi-final happening later. Beautiful catch there from APR, flies up in there, beautiful catch. But that will go down to the fans. And another point for APR, 24-14, a difference of 10 points there. APR just a point away from picking up the first set victory. Now she will be serving the game point for the side. Simple service, beautiful catch, plays it up in there. They are still alive, crosses the net, set. And now Rwanda Revenue Authority will pull one back. This is the first semi-final of the women, and it is a Rwandanese derby happening here. Good service, good catch. The ball is up, tries to go for it, flies, make sure that she keeps the game alive. Well, that spike goes off the court, and that will mark the end of the first set. Amaya Patrick of the Rwanda picks up victory in the first set, 25-15. Good plays there from APR as they managed to pick up victory against their Rwandese sisters.
This championship has been proudly sponsored by NSSF, Pepsi, Needs for Health, Palace Processes, National Personal Sports, and other funds. Thank you so much for attending this 37th edition. After this game, we are going to have a second certified in the next category to the police of Rwanda.
Welcome back to the second set. APR are picking up victory in the first set. And now we'll be having the second set happening right here. RRA didn't win the first set. They managed only 15 points, whereas APR got to the 25. And now RRA will be having the first service there. RRA are the defending champions. And now we are just moments away from the first service of the second half. Pressure now on the defending champions. They need to make sure that they win this set and level matters. Goes for a service. Beautiful catch there. Good work there from APR. An attack right away. They want to get themselves early in the game. Free ball. Nice touch there from Lea the Ribeiro. The ball is up. Tries to go for an attack. But a block out. And the cover not really saving them from conceding. Erandis Derby is happening here right in the stadium, Lugogo, Kampala. Another service there. Beautiful catch there from APR. Tries to go for a dump, but beautifully read. Tries to go for a setting. Beautiful catch there. RRA will play that one. Ball still alive, but many touches from the side. And that will be another point for APR. 1-1 is the scores. We are into the second set. Advantage APR, they already won the first set. Beautiful service, nice catch. Ball flies up in the air. Tries to go for an attack. Netting violation there from APR. And a point for RRA. If you want to watch this beautiful game, you can come to Lugogo in the sports arena at only 10,000 shillings for ordinary and 20k for VIP, and you watch this beautiful matchup. Beautiful work there from RRA trying to keep the game alive. Free ball, yes. They receive it very well. Ball is up in there, goes for an attack. And the blocks not helping them to save that one from falling in their side. Valentine with the service there for APR. Scores are leveled 2-2. Beautiful service. Nice reception. Beautiful work. Free ball. Sends it over. And just got Valentine napping. They pick up another point and go up in the game. RRA 3-2 at the scorelines here in the Indo Stadium in Lugogo. Marion with the service. Good reception there by the Ribeiro. Beautiful work. Nice catch there by the Ribeiro layer. Nice communication. And RRA consider another one. 3-3 is now the score line. Sharon with the service, beautiful catch. That's up in there, goes for it and gets it on court. And that will be another point there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. The defending champions already trailing. APR advantage, they won the first set. And now they're looking for victory in the second one. Olive comes in with the service, beautifully done. Nice reception there by APR. Tries to go for an attack, tries to dump it, but beautiful work there from RRA to keep that ball alive. Some good game reading, goes for an attack, and manages to get it over the net. Well, that is subsequently a point there for APR. They level the scores again, and for all, is the scoreline here in Lugogo Indoor Sports Arena. Service there coming in from APR. Good execution there. The reception not so nice. And the point for APR. 5-4. And now the scores. Good service. Nice catch. Played up in there. Chance for an attack. But the attack just goes off court. And that will be another point there for
Substitution.
Rwanda Army.
4 in, 7 out.
RRA making a change there. Bringing in Aloisi. And taking off Irene. Gio with the service. Brilliant catch. But just gets it over the net, a free ball. Chance to attack. Goes for a dump. Played up in there. Leia has it. Nice catch. Flies and tries to go for a dump. But that's played up in there. Ball still alive. Tries to go for an attack. Brilliant work there from Leia to keep the ball alive. Now chance to attack. Goes hard at it. Brilliant catch there from that player there. To make sure that she keeps the game alive. RRA trying to attack on that occasion, but just quite can't get the ball over the net. Beautiful block there from APR, and they pick up another point. They have now extended their lead. They are 3 points up. And 7-4 is the score line as Gio comes back to serve again. Good service, nice reception. Tries to hit them right away, but Gio doesn't get it over the net ribbon. That's up in there, chance to attack. Beautiful catch there from APR. Leia has it in there, another attack. APR regrouping very quickly and making sure that they don't concede early. Nice catch there from Leia. That's set well. Tries to go for an attack. And she gets it over the net. Very, very powerful. Aloisi, the player who's just walked on. And now I tell you, the fans in the arena are enjoying it. Leia out and Hejinet is in for RRA. Beautiful service. Ball is up in there. Tries to attack but just hits the net ribbon. And that will be a point for RRA. 6-7 as it stands. They are fighting back and trying to make sure that they level early. We saw APR leading fast in the opening set and they went on and won it. So the Rwanda Revenue Authority are not giving them any space. That's played up in there. Good touch. Tries to play it over. Now free ball. Goes for an attack. But that's off the court. Scores are leveled 7-all here in the Indo Stadium. The game broadcasting live in Lugogo, where we are having this beautiful matchup. 7-all at the score lines as Rwanda Revenue Authority looks to pick up something in this game. Good service there. Nice reception. APR with the ball. Goes for an attack. Miscommunication between two players. And now APR will pick up the 8th point. (8-7) is now the scoreline here in Lugogo, Kampala, Uganda. Some good play there. This time around she gets it over the net, plays it up, tries to go for a dump. Good game reading there from Leia, keeps the game alive. An attack off court, and a point there for Rwanda Energy Group. Shout out to the sponsors of this tournament: NSSF, PEPS, Paris Agro Processors, Ministry of Health, and National Council of Sports. Now it will be a service there for APR, beautifully served. Good reception there, An attack and the point there for RRA. They are making sure that they fight back in the game, and now they are trailing by just 1 point. 9-8 is now the scoreline here in the Indo Stadium in Lugogo. From wherever you're watching in, this game is broadcasting live from Kampala. A Rwandese derby is on the cards here for you. Beautiful serving there. Nice reception there from the Ribeiro. But the catch from the teammate not very nice. She quite can't get it over the net. And now the scores are level. 9-all. Rwanda Revenue Authority, the defending champions, don't want to let this one slide away. Now goes for a service, but quite couldn't get it over the net. Not the best of plays there for her. 10-9 in favor of APR. Service, beautiful catch. Ball is up in there, goes for an attack. Hands on it. Another playing to drive it. She'll play it over. This guy there from layup. Now they have a chance to score. But what a point there. What a spike from Rwanda Revenue Authority as now they level the scores again. 10-all is now the scoreline here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo. Sloppy reception there from APR, and now RRA with an advantage. 12-10 is now the scoreline here in Lugogo Indo Stadium Arena. Rwanda Revenue Authority lost the first set, and now they are fighting hard to make sure that they don't lose out in this one. Up in there. Chance to catch, beautiful reception there, flies up in there, goes for a spike. Let's catch there from RRA, free ball and gets it over. Now here we play. Again another attack, but beautiful block there from RRA, and now they go 3 points up. Now we are back for play. Ball still up in there. Tries to go for that set. An attack. Nice catch there by RR. They are reorganizing quickly. A free ball coming. Yeah, well received. They are now up in the air. Tries to go for that one. But the violation there of many points being played. And now that's a point there for the Rwanda Revenue Authority. RRA with the advantage. Now that's played up in there. Good reception there by APR. Tries to go for a dump, but I couldn't quite get that ball over the net. And that will be another point for the Rwanda Revenue Authority. And APR will call for the first timeout as they are trailing by 5 points. The timeout has come to an end. A tournament proudly sponsored by NSSF as the lead sponsors, Palisa Agro Processors, KAVC, Ministry of Health, and the National Council of Sports all coming up as sponsors. Now service there goes for a dump and just make sure that she gets it over the net. APR pulls one back and reduce the deficit to just 4 points, 11-15 as it stands. Not the best of services there from APR.
Substitution for team RRA. 16 12 out.
(16-11) in favor of the Rwanda Revenue Authority. And now a service for RRA, but it will be off the court. And that will be another point for the Army. (12-16), APR 12, RRA 16. And that will be a service there coming in from APR. Beautiful jumping service. Good substitution there from Leia. Presented up in there. Block out. Oh, they retrieve the ball. Now it's up in there. Chance to attack. But that will be off the court. And RRA have really reorganized themselves very well. The pressure now switching ends as they pick up another point there. 17-12 in favor of RRA. Now that is served very nicely. The ball is up in there. Goes for an attack. And another one off the court. I tell you, if there is a moment to regret there for the Rwanda Revenue Authority, should be them not capitalizing on the lead. They have gotten a 5 points lead. You could quickly reorganize and try and make sure that you play so well. APR still fighting back, but they couldn't quite get the ball on the net. Another attack into the blocks. That's played up in there. Free ball. Tries to dump it. Beautiful catch. Leia with a beautiful set. Another attack. Down to the net. And a point for APR. APR won the first set. And now RRA is still fighting also to make sure that they win the second set. Tournament happening here in Lugogo Indoor Sports Arena. Now the ball, here comes a free ball. Very, very casual. And that's dumped right away. (13-19). Rwanda Revenue Authority leads. Beautiful jumping service there from Olive. Now the ball comes back very quick like a bullet. And that will be another point there for APR. APR now inching closer. 14 trailing by 5 points. And now there will be a substitution for APR. Just number 4, Ernestine, gets off in for Ivine. Another change there. Bringing on jersey number 1, Dian, and 7, Giose. Gaose will now be out. Now service there coming in from APR will be the new player who's just walked on, Dian. Dian plays it over the net, beautiful catch. Ball is played up in there, goes for an attack. Beautiful catch, the ball is still alive. Tries to go for an attack, beautiful blocks. Leia gets it up in the air. Now they go for an attack and wow! Good execution there. That player there, Ernestine, who's just walked on, picks up early point there for the side. Leia the Ribeiro now goes out and Heijinete will now walk on. Service for RRA. Just the number 6, Anita, gets it over the net. That's the ball is up in the air. Tries to go for a dump. Beautiful catch there by APR. They need to be cautious and careful. Now APR will pick up that point as RRA doesn't quite manage to keep that one in play. Another switch play there between Anita and the Ribeiro Leia. Service APR. Jumping service. Gets it over the net. Good catch. Good work there from APR to keep the game alive. They fly up in there. Another one, a block out. And now they will reduce the deficit there. 16-20. Rwanda Authority just 5 points away from winning this set and leveling matters here in the Indo Stadium. Now a service there for APR. Comes in from Benin. She serves it very well. Good reception. Now tries to go for a dunk. But a netting violation. And a point goes on the side of Rwanda Revenue Authority. And that will be a timeout there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. The first one in this game. Two games are remaining before we call it a day. KFC Uganda will take on Rwanda National Police Women in the next semi-final. And we will have KCCA versus KAVC happening later on after that matchup. Now service for APR. Up in there. Beautiful catch. Just sets it well. Goes for an attack. Right on the net. And that will be a point for APR. APR now reducing the deficit to just 3 points. Still with the jumping service. But now the best of reception is there from RRA. Now the margin, which has been 5 points, is now just 1 point. Another service. Beautiful received, plays it up in there, goes for an attack, nice catch there, Leia has it up in there, tries to go for that attack and gets it over the net. I tell you, she's been jumping and overpowering them. Aloisi, now the player to watch for the Rwanda Revenue Authority. She's been so dangerous with those diagonal attacks. Now they regain service and will be that player flying up in there. Tembo gets it over the net. Beautiful catch there from APR. Free ball. but doesn't quite get it to the net. Rwanda Revenue Authority inching closer to victory, as now they have 22 points at 19. APR will now go for the second timeout.
At a score of 22-19 in favor of RRA. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this is the 37th.
End of the second timeout. We are now back to play. Serving there, APR, RRA. Reception there by APR. Good one. Play gets it up in the play. Beautiful catch. She gets it up in there. Chance to attack, but that is dumped right away. A netting violation and a point for APR. There, they reduce the deficit to just 2 points. Still fighting back and trying to make sure that they pick up something in the game.
Substitution by Team APR. 6 and 2 out.
Now APR has the service. Albertine, jersey number 6, will now be bringing in the service. Playing with her cap on. Now just taking her time.
Second time out.
But that will be a second time out there for RRA. They are just 3 points away from picking up victory, whereas APR will need about 5 if they are to win, and they will have to level the scores before RRA strays away.
Second time out.
Back from the timeout. Albertine taking her quality time. Subs it over. Good reception. Oh, not the best of receptions there. She has it out, and now APR will inch closer. 21 for APR and 22 for RRA. 1 point, level the scores for APR, 3 points for RRA to pick up victory. Albertini with the simple service again. Good reception there. Ball is up in there. Chance to attack. Tries to go for a dump. A carry and a point for APR. 22 all is now the scoreline here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo. This is match day number 2 of the NSSFK AVC Invitational Tournament here in Lugogo. Not the best of services there. And RR will now try and stretch away. (23-22) in favor of RRA. 22 points for RRA to pick up victory and level in terms of sets. And if APR can level the scores and win, they stand a chance of getting closer to victory. Now service coming in from RRA. Is that player there? Aloisi, she's been dangerous with her serves. Let's see what she can do. Aloisi taking quality time before she gets the ball rolling. Ready to receive. APR. 23-22 in favor of RRA. RRA are the defending champions. They would love to make sure that they go to the finals and defend what belongs to them. Now a beautiful service there. Nice catch there by APR. Beautiful attack there. And the scores are now level again. 23-all here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo. It's been a packed arena. Very, very electric as we watch this Randy's derby. Now a beautiful catch there from RRA. Goes for an attack, down to Harnett. And now advantage. APR, they level the scores. And now they'll be serving the set point. Good work there from APR, reorganizing. At one time they were trading by about 5 points, and now they've fought their way back in the game. Service there, beautiful catch there from RRA. Tries to dump it, nice catch. But that will be that, and that will mark at the end of the second set. APR snatches away the second set, and as it stands, they are 2 sets up. A valiant effort fight there from RRA, not fruitful. Advantage APR. They are already leading 2 sets. And now RRA still fighting to and make sure that they pick up something here. The defending champions already trailing. This is a must-win set for them. RRA, beautiful service. The blocks there. Not well executed there by APR. And a point. Sorry, not executed there by RR, and a point there for APR. 1-1. Scores are level early here in the stadium. Advantage APR. Now they have a slim lead up in there. But that service there just going down to the net. Fighting and making sure that they look for something in this. Now RRA with the advantage. They have gone 3 points up. I beg your pardon, 1 point up. 3-2 is now the scoreline here in the Indo Stadium. This tournament is probably sponsored by NSSF, PEPS, National Council of Sports, and Ministry of Health. Now up in there, chance to catch. But that catch will go off the court. And that will be another point there for Rwanda Revenue Authority, as now they go 4 points, and APR is now still on 3 points. Service, Rwanda Revenue Authority, beautiful service there, nice touch up in there. Tries to go for the attack. That is some beautiful play there from RRA. They know they must win this set if they have to keep themselves alive. A loss here for RRA in this set will mean that APR will advance to the finals. We saw RRA leading in that previous set, but APR managed to level down the score and they end up picking victory. Now, service, RRA, beautifully done. Good catch there from APR. Tries to go for a dump. Nice catch there by RRA, and another point there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. Vuni, that's a libero for APR putting in some efforts, but didn't quite manage to stop that one from falling in their court. And now Olive with another service. Beautiful catch there from APR. Tries to go for an attack, but that will be off the court, and subsequently a point for RRA. Now, Rwanda Revenue Authority even inching away closer, 8-3. They have an advantage of 5 points. Not the first time we've seen them in that position. They had an advantage of 5 points, but quite didn't win. And now there will be a change, bringing on Diane. And Ernestine will go out. Now, service coming in from Olive. Olive, good service, good catch there from APR. They have the ball up in there, tries to go for that center court attack. Now it's up, another attack there from RRA. But there is a netting violation from APR. The second referee, Samuels, will just have a word with them. This is a Rwandan derby happening here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo, Kampala. The 27th edition of the KAVC tournament first played in 1995. Now the ball is still rolling there. But that point will bring up 10 points for Rwanda Revenue Authority. I tell you, it's a must-win set there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. But ever since that player there, Olive, started serving, they've been getting points. The referee, the first referee, Slavia, just having a word with the captain for APR. And we are just moments away from resuming play. He calls his counterpart. And they will have a talk there, the two referees. We will be having Police VC taking on. We'll be having Rwanda National Police taking on KAVC women in the second semi-final of the women. Now, the center referee there, Slavia, calls play. Service coming in there from Olive. Brilliant, quick, but off the court. Now 7 points, I beg your pardon, 8 points lead there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. Olive now still with the service. She goes up for a service. Beautiful work that's happening there. Nice catch. Goes for an attack. But the block not well put in place. A block out. And APR will pull one back. Not the first time we've seen these guys with the blocks going out, so they need to make sure that they put them well. Now service coming in there. Plays it up very nicely. Nice catch there from RRA. They try to go for an attack, but brilliant work there. The game reading was well executed. So players moving to the front court and chips in that dump to pick up that point there for APR. APR now on 5 points, whereas RRA has 11. Giosi with another serve. Beautifully read by that electric player Tembo. She saw them napping and dumps one quickly to pick up a point. Now 12-5 is the scoreline. A 7 points lead there for RRA, because they know they have to win this game. If they'll pick up something, if they lose this game, it will mean that APR will advance to the finals. So they're playing with whatever they have. Now well received there, goes for an attack, gets one napping, and the point there for APR. They reduce the deficit again to 6. So they are in favor of APR. Now good jumping service received, ball is up, goes for an attack, but that block well constituted and put in place. And now that's another point there for APR. They reduced the deficit from 7 to now 5. Jumping service, good catch. Ball is up, chance to attack, plays it over. The ball still alive, chance for them to attack. So one napping, they get it up in there. The Ribeiro gets it playing. Now they are good catch. RRA going in for the attack. Free ball, well received, well set, and now RRA pick up another point there through that brilliant attack there from Aloisi. They now reinstate the difference to 5 points. Tembo with the service. Beautiful catch there by the Rebelo Vumi. Now the ball is still up. Here we are to play. Players to play it over. Good catch there. APR with the ball. They get it over. Free ball. Nice catch up in there from Tembo. Tembo gets it up. Goes for an attack. Good full block. They keep the ball alive there. Tries to go for another attack. Brilliant work. I tell you, the fans in the arena love it. Some efforts there being put in by APR, but in the end they end up conceding. They fought, but the fight didn't pay off. Northern played up, plays a free ball over, down to Leia. The Ribeiro got them napping, but there is a crossing violation from RRA, and they will now concede. 14-8. Flavia with the service. Plays it well. Let's catch there from Leia. The ball is up. Chance to attack, free ball. Gets hold of it. Plays it over the net. Goes for an attack. But at the blocks, well put, and they managed to get that ball in. Good work there being done by RRA. The defending champions know that they must win this game if they are to make it to the finals. A loss here would mean that APR has stretched away, so they are fighting with whatever they have as they look for the victory. Not the best of services there. Aloisi just playing it to the net. And now point advantage there for APR. APR with 9. RRA with 15. Another service lost there by Dian. Now APR picks up another point and tries to reduce that deficit. I tell you, this is the first semi-final action for the women happening here in the Indo Stadium down in Logogo. 27th edition of the NSSFK AVC Invitational Tournament. Ball is up in the air, tries to go for an attack, but the referee says there is a violation there. A carry, many touches. And now service coming APR. Valentine now has the ball to serve it for APR. 11-16. Ready to receive. Valentine is up. She gets it over. Good catch. Leia sets it very nicely. Goes for an attack. Good catch there from APR. They still have the ball. They try to get it over, but RRA is still fighting. The ball is still alive. Another attack there, but nice reception. The ball is up. Chance for APR to dump. Saw them napping, and just to threw it in the middle of two players, the Ribeiro, and now that's another point there. for APR. They reduced the deficit to now 4. At one time they were trailing by 7 points, but now they're trying to fight back. Valentine has the ball there to bring up another service. Brings it very nicely. Good catch there from Leia. The ball is up. They want to cross it over. Tries to go for a dump, but beautifully read there by Gios. And now it's up. Goes for an attack. And APR are playing like a team which wants to make it to the final. The deficit was 7 points, and now they are reduced to 3, and they don't look like they are stopping soon. I tell you, this is a Rwandan derby. Both these two teams come from Rwanda. But what a beautiful semi-final matchup we are having here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo. And now it will be service coming in from that player. Subs it very nicely. The ball is up, trying to play it over. Nice catch there from APR. Up in the air, goes for an attack and scores another point. Meaning business, and that will be the first time out there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. But look at that matchup that we are having today.
The next game is between KBC Ladies versus Police of Rwanda. Our first time out, team RRA.
Now we are back for play. And now it will be service coming in there from Valentine. Flies up, gets it over the net. Reception there from Leia, the libero. Now that's over. Not the best of touches there from Valentine. And subsequently a point there for Rwanda Revenue Authority. 14-17 in favor of the defending champions, Rwanda Revenue Authority. Another will be service coming in from Denise. It's up in there, goes for an attack, Giosi, and manages to score another one for APR. APR are still fighting back and trying to make sure that they pick up something in this matchup. Kilea Kabura saying that this is a high-level game, whereas Agaba Eliam is in the comment section saying that he loves every bit of this action. So make sure that you get down to the comment section and tell us what you make of this beautiful derby, a Rwandan derby here on the cards. 15 APR, 18 RRA. Two teams come down from Rwanda. And there will be a substitution there from RR. Jazzy, number 3, Nancy is out. And I beg your pardon, Nancy has just walked on. Now we'll be having Olive with the service. Olive flies up in there. Good catch there from APR. APR tries to go for an attack. Yes, beautiful block. Good hand upping, but she manages to stay forward. Valentine. That's over the net. Leia receives it. It's up in there. They're still trying to play. But there is a carrying violation there from one of those players of RRA. And now the deficit has reduced to just 2 points. 16-18 is now the scoreline here in the Indo Stadium down in Lugogo. Remember, APR is already leading. They won the first set 25-15 and they won the second set 25-23. Now they still have to win this set if they are to make it to the finals. Played very nicely. Ball is slap. Quick reading here. She manages to spike it hard again very, very quickly. Pick up that point. And now the deficit is just 1 point. A change there. Marion. But now look at that replay there. That player there, Tembo, couldn't do anything. Save aside from proceeding. Now we are back to play. Ball is up in there. Flies up, goes for an attack and gets one napping. That gets to the court. 19-17 is now the score line. They reinstate their leadership because Rwanda Revenue Authority know that if they lose this set, they won't make it to the finals. They have to win this set and win another one, then they will make sure that they go to that decisive set. Jersey number 1, Hiakanete, will now walk in for jersey number 7, Irene, for the RRA. Good service there from the new player who has walked in. Nice catch there, an attack off the court. And now that brings up 20 up for Rwanda Revenue Authority. That will be the first time out there for Team APR. They are inching closer, but now they can't quite get themselves to level points. Service coming in from Haikanete off the court, and now APR will inch closer. 18-20, a difference of 2 points as it stands here in the arena. And now there is a substitution there from RRA. Anita is in for Hiakanete. Now, service APR. Beneath with power. Good catch there from APR. RR, they are still fighting in. Goes for an attack. Good carry there. Ball is up. Tries to dump it. They're still playing. Plays it up and keeps it alive there. Leah, it's up. Chance for APR to get a point. No, they are denied. Good work. An attack. Ball is up. Tries to go for a set. An attack there. And APR managed to reduce the deficit once again. Picking up another point and make it 19-20. A difference of just 1 point. 6 points for APR to make it to the finals and 5 for RRA to keep themselves alive. Beneath again serves it. Beautiful catch there. That's up. She flies up and tries to attack, but that is off the court. And now the scores are leveled. 20 all as it stands here in the Indo Stadium in Lugogo. This is match day number 2 of the NSSF KAVC Invitational Tournament. Make sure that you come to the comment section on the KAVC YouTube channel and tell us what you make of the game. Tomorrow we'll be having all the games happening in the Indo Arena. Interest will be 10K and 20K for the VIPs, but what a point there from that player there beneath. And I tell you, this is the first time we've seen APR leveling points and passing and moving forward to win. Good work there. 21-20 as there is a timeout there for RRA. RRA had advantage. But looks like they have now started napping on the job. 21-20 in favor of APR are the score lines here. We are back to play. 4 points for APR to make it to the finals. 5 for RRA to level matters. Now service. Beneath. Coming in there for APR. Good service. Gets it over the ribbon. Tries to go for a dump. Good game reading there from Beneath. Ball is up. Chance to attack. Oh! Not the best of blocks there from Rwanda Revenue Authority, and now APR is inching closer to victory. I tell you, the way APR has been containing pressure is the reason as why they have made sure that they win the first 2 sets, and now they are even moving closer to victory. 22-20 is now the scoreline, and now Beneath they are coming in with another service. Beautifully served. Good catch there from RRA. It's up in the air, tries to go for that attack. The ball is up, chance for attack there. A block out, and 22-20 is the score now for APR. Two points for APR to win this set and advance to the finals. RRA will be playing for bronze tomorrow. If they don't win this set, they need to win this set, try and make sure that they keep themselves alive. Well, that is served off the court. And now Rwanda Revenue Authority pull one back. 21-23 is now the scoreline here in the Indo Stadium in Lugogo. And now it will be Tembo bringing in the service for Rwanda Revenue Authority. They had advantage early in the game. They were leading, but now they are trailing. Flies up in there. Good catch there. Not the best of receptions there from APR. And now play an attack. Beautiful blocks there from APR. Chance to attack again. Free ball coming. Good free received. Up in there. Chance to attack. Goes for a dap. Gets one napping. And that's another point there for the APR. APR will now be bringing in the game point. Tembo very, very disappointed. She feels that she gave it some bit of efforts there, but unfortunately quite not helping that to keep her side in the game. 24-21, and it will be a game point there coming in from APR. A win for APR will mean they have made it to the finals. And it will be Dorata coming in with the service. Beautiful service there. Next reception there from RRA. Hits it to the ribbon. And that will be victory for APR. (25-21) as APR picks up victory and advances to the finals. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having another game coming up between KAVC Uganda and Police of Rwanda. Then we'll be having KAVC Uganda and KCCA happening later on after that. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have to give a bigger shout out to the sponsors of this tournament: PEPS, NSSF, Palisa Agro-Processors, Ministry of Health, and National Council of Sports. They've put resources together to make sure that we get this beautiful tournament happening on the theme championing better community health and behavior through sports. Make sure that you don't go anywhere. We'll be having another semi-final matchup for the women happening between KAVC Uganda, who will be taking on Police Rwanda.